Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I am your humble host, Mr. David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers, and I greet you with the love and the honor of the infinite creator. And I continue to pray that each and every one of you will accept and receive, and you will learn to accept and receive the healings, the knowledge, and the wisdom from the universe. And that's my dog, Duggar. Hush, my friend, sit down. No, it's the cat's eating. Break the cycle. Hi, how are you? Duggar, come sit down. It's just the cats. Trying to teach him that the cats were here a long time before he was. But anyway, um, there's so much going on in the world today, and I was listening to speeches and the president and this person and that person and this person's review, and I'm good. What synchronicity? Yay, babe. How about that? Yeah, I wasn't going to do anything this morning. And I was like, well, there are people on the other side of the world that. But regardless, this is a reading of William Shakespeare from, let's see, Act 3, Scene 2. And it's a speech after they've just murdered Caesar. Okay. Now, the whole play, and there's a conspiracy, and Brutus and Cassius, the two major characters discussed in Act 3, they have plotted against their Caesar. So they have come up with this reason and had to, a lot of stuff has happened, and that's right. And so my cosmic folks have been saying, listen, you just need to do this. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, this has been going on for a couple of weeks now. And the last 3 days I've been reading over it. And I remember reading it in high school, which is 1969. That's a long time ago. But I didn't really get the whole meaning of it. I'm not sure that I've seen the entire play of Julius Caesar, but I've read different portions of it for play reading committees and so forth with all my days in theater. And so I thought, well, it's for what's going on as far as those Brutus and Cassius in the play, which was like, in the 1600s, right? So several hundred years ago. It is suspicious how he died. Break the cycle. I'm reading, according to Dante's information, Caesar was set up by one of their own. Yes. There, and whether Shakespeare was right or not, that they were conspiring against him. And there were a lot of things that it's like, oh, he was such a bad man, which is one of the reasons why I think they want me to read this rendition from William Shakespeare. And so I'm like, okay. So what I'm going to do is when I switch over to the text, I'm not going to be able to see the chat room, and I'm going to stay in the text until I'm done with the till I'm done with the reading, and then I'll switch back. I can't see both, and so I'm not going to be able to read it. But anyway, so to give a little up thing about what's going on, I don't want to. There are a lot of people in the street. They're all following Brutus. Hello, Marie. How are you? Blessings. I did this late tonight just so you could be here. Hopefully I won't bore you. So, but Brutus and Cassius come in, and there's a throng of folks. And Brutus, I'll read this as part of the reading, but Brutus says to Cassius, he said, you take part of the crowd to another street and talk to them. And I'm going to take this bunch over here and I'm going to talk to them. And, we're going to explain what happened, And so Brutus goes on this, you're good, okay so far. Thumbs up, Marie. There are those of you who, if I don't see you in a while, I'm always wondering, like, I haven't heard from Marie in a while. I hope she's okay. There's always prayers being sent out there. So for what that means. Anyway, just want you to know that. It's easier to type than it use. Yes, I bet it is. Okay, so, well, I'm going to switch over to the other screen. But so after Brutus has his little speech, he talks about honor. And that's the big thing about this speech that I want to like bring out. It's the fact that honor. So Brutus talks about his honor, and that anyone in the crowd who doesn't believe in his honor should, because Brutus is an honorable man. I'm getting ahead of myself. But to set this thing up, if you don't, after reading through it and understanding it and over the years. So, but anyway, to catch you up in a little bit of paraphrasing. So here's Brutus, who was a friend to Caesar. He wouldn't have been able to get that close if he wasn't. But that what Brutus is he doesn't understand is Caesar has left a will. And in his will, he has designated all types of things to the people. You know, now Brutus doesn't know this. And if he does, he's like, well, they'll never see it. But Mark Antony, not with a T, no TH, it's just a T. Antony. I had to correct myself with that. I thought it was Anthony all these times, but Antony. So with that said, so when it's time for Mark Antony to speak, he's like, listen, you know, I'm just a guy, right? You know, and Brutus is an honorable man. So everything that Mark Antony says basically is sarcasm. So he's like, well, blah, blah, blah. And I'll go into that and read it. Marie says, guess I went to a journey that took me to another learning. Been there, done that, I think. Goes over my head. So I have to start as I am in kindergarten. Yeah, my youngest son's dad name is Mark Antony. Yeah, similarities. Okay. So anyway, I'm giving this, I've spent too much time here in the beginning, but to just set it up a little bit. So I'm going to switch I have to switch screens so I can read it. Okay. So I won't be able to read your comments until I'm done. So this should only take about 10 minutes or so. I'm going to try my best not to stop unless it is there are notes, there are what other folks in the play, they're called citizens. Okay. So the other citizens have to say about Brutus or about Mark Antony or about their reaction. So anyway, or stage direction where Brutus leaves and Mark Antony comes in. So, but other than that, I'm just going to read it. Okay. Oh, you won't distract me. I won't be able to see. Okay. I'm switching over now. Now I'm using, I typed it in DuckTales-online, and they've got all kinds of plays and this and that, reviews and things and so forth. So, all right. So Act 2, Scene 2. Enter Brutus and Cassius and a throng of citizens. And the citizens are all hollering, we will be satisfied. Let us be satisfied. And Brutus says, then follow me and give me audience, friends. Cassius, you go into the other street and part the numbers. Those that will hear me speak, let them stay here. Those that will follow Cassius, go with him. And public reason shall be rendered of Caesar's death. First citizen, I will hear Brutus speak. The second says, I will hear Cassius and compare their reasons. When severely we hear them rendered. And so Cassius exits with some of the citizens, and Brutus goes into the public speaking pulpit. Another citizen says, Brutus is ascended. Silence. Brutus, be patient till the last. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor, that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses, that you may better the judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and all slaves die, than that Caesar were dead to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his joy, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. So who here so base that would be a bondman, if any, speak? For him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak. For him I have offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any, speak. For him I have offended. I pause for a reply, and all the citizens say, no, Brutus, none, none. Brutus again says, then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol, his glory not extenuated where he was worthy, nor his offenses, enforced for which he suffered death. Now at this time, Antony and others come in with Caesar's body. So Brutus continues, here comes his body, mourned by Marc Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death. And Brutus exit. And all the citizens are going, live, Brutus, live. Bring him with triumph home unto his house. Give him a statue with ancestors. Let Brutus be Caesar. Caesar's better parts shall be crowned in Brutus. We'll bring him to his with shouts of clamors. Brutus says, my countrymen, peace, silence. Brutus speaks, they say. Good countrymen, let me depart alone, says Brutus, and for my sake stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse and grace his speech. Tend to Caesar's glory, which Marc Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. I do entreat you, not a man depart, save I alone till Antony has spoke. Now that's when Brutus leaves. He gets off of the lectern and then he exits. First citizen, stay ho and let us hear Marc Antony. Let him go up into the public chair. We'll hear him. Noble Antony, go up. Antony says, for Brutus' sake, I am beholding to you. And he goes to the pulpit. One citizen says, what do you say of Brutus? He says, for Brutus' sake. He finds himself beholding to us all. 'Twere best he speak no harm of Brutus here. First citizen says, this Caesar was a tyrant, Nay, says another, that's certain. We are blessed that Rome is rid of him. Peace, let us hear what Antony can say. You, gentle Romans, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men. Come I to speak at Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the leprechaun I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you now then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me. Methinks there is much reason in his saying, says the first citizen, if thou consider rightly of the matter. Another says, Caesar has had great wrong. Has he, masters? Another says, I fear there will be worse come in his place. Mark ye his words. He would not take the crown. Therefore, 'tis certain he was not ambitious. Now, this is the citizen speaking. If it be found so, some will dear abide it. Another citizen says, poor soul, his eyes are red as fire with weeping. There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony. Another says, now mark him. He begins again to speak. Antony says now again, but yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. O masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who, you all know, are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But there's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read, and they would go and kiss Caesar's wounds and dip their napkins in his sacred blood. Yea, beg a hair of him for memory, and dying, mention it with their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their use. Citizen 4 says, we'll hear the will. Read it, Mark Antony. And they all cry out, we will, the will, we will hear Caesar's will. Antony says, have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. It is not meet you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stones, but men. And being men, being the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. 'Tis good you know not that you are his heirs. For if you should, oh, what would come of it? They start hollering, read the will, Antony, read the will. You shall read us the will, Caesar's will. Will you be patient, says Antony? Will you stay a while? Have I overshot myself to tell you of it? I fear I wrong the honorable man whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it. The citizen says, they were traitors, honorable men. The will, the testament. They were villains and murderers. The will, read the will. Antony says, you will compel me then to read the will? Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar, and let me show you him that made the will. Shall I descend, and will you give me leave? He comes down off the pulpit. A ring stand around. Stand from the hearse, stand from the body. Make room for Antony. So they make this circle around the casket where Caesar's laying. Antony says, press not upon me, stand far off. If you have ears, prepare to shed them now, for you all do know this mantle, meaning his cloak. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. 'Twas on a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the Nerval. Look, in this place ran Cassius' dagger through it. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as rushing out of doors to be resolved. If Brutus so unkindly knocked or no, for Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge ye, O gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most kindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him, then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall there was, my countrymen. And then I and you and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and now I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are the gracious drops. Kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vested wounded? Look here, here is himself marred, as you see, with the traitors. Mark Antony is pointing out all the stab wounds that they did to him, and his vesture is his clothing. They all start hollering, revenge, about, seek, burn, fire, kill, slay, let a traitor live. Antony says, stay, countrymen, good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not, that made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will, no doubt, with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is, but, as you know me all, a plain, blunt man, that love my friend, and that they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither wit nor words of worth, action nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves know. Show your sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouse, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar's that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny. They all start hollering, "We'll burn the house of Brutus. We'll mutiny." "Away then," says another. "Seek the conspirators." "Why, friends, you go to do you know not what. Herein has Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You have forgotten the will I told you of. Here is the will, and under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas. Almost Caesar will revenge your death. Moreover, says Antony, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors, and newly planted orchards. On this side of the Tiber he has left them you, and to your heirs forever, common pleasures, to walk abroad and recreate yourself. Here was Caesar. When comes such another? So the citizens just get totally crazy. We'll burn his body in the holy place, and with the brands of fire, burn the traitors' houses, pluck down the benches, pluck down the forms, windows, and anything. And so they exit with the body. And from that, Marc Antony says, "Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course you wilt. And thither I will go straight to visit him." For anyway, he goes on. But so let me go back to the other thing. All right. So I'm back. Oh, there's 10 people in here now. So, all right. So what does this mean? Why am I reading this? Wow, that took me longer than I thought. But anyway, here were honorable men. And when the word honor keeps, coming up, and I see these people who consider themselves to be honorable men. And then in that, I think I see them as Brutus, and that their political stance or whatever it is, that they're trying to kill their opponents in any way possible, literally sometimes. But Brutus, they keep talking about honor. But wait a minute, they conspired against him, and so nobody would get, not one person would take the whole blame. They all got together and stabbed him together. So they all took the blame. So it's like, so Antony says, but these are honorable men. I would not, think that you should go out and do anything. Oh, no, I'm not trying to incite a riot here. Oh, but here's Caesar's will, and he left you all this stuff. If Caesar was ambitious, then he has suffered grievously for his offense. But Brutus is an honorable man, and so are all the others, all honorable men. So I look at the political scene these days, and it's not just political, but, we got issues with what's going on now. And I did a short video. Oh, my God, it was a short video. And it had to do simply with VIP, vote in person. And a lot of other people are catching on, and I made a video just to kind of sort of prove I had this idea, but other people are too. So I'm not taking claim for it, but I did want to put it out there. Vote in person. And a lot of people are going to I saw the folks at the Trump rally, and there weren't too many, very few people had masks on. A lot of other, Gerald Celente from up in New York and up in there, they had a public demonstration where there was about 250, maybe 300 people. And, only about 10% of the people there were wearing masks. So not that this is about the mask, but it's about the political stuff in general. So here's Brutus and Cassius trying to build up the crowd that this is why we killed him, and just follow us because I am an honorable man. And, you better listen to me because I am an honorable man. Caesar was my lover, he says. And I killed my lover for the sake of Rome. So Rome was more important than Caesar. And so, but he's trying to convince the crowd before anybody else gets a chance to. But he says, oh, listen to Marc and Antony. I'm all you all stay here. But I'm the only one that's going to leave. So y'all stay and listen to him, but I'm out of here. Because I think he knows that if the people listen to Marc Antony just right, they're probably going to kill him on the spot. He wants to get away. After they do it, they realize we done messed up. So Marc Antony, who was Caesar's friend, etc., and most of the Romans knew who he was. So an aide to Caesar, but I wouldn't say a vice president, but a very good aide. And they were friends, and Antony says so. We were friends. He was my friend. So now, but the thing about honor, there are so many folk out there who trying to claim the honor of things, but then when you look at their record, you look at what they say, and I scratch my head and I go, where's the honor in that? These folks have not proved to me that they are honorable men. You follow where I'm going with this. So I could go into details and discuss this person and that person. My feelings are that I'm not a Democrat anymore, and those people who are trying to convince me that I should vote for, the B word, and the other one, and I'm like, no. I have more common sense and speaking ability than the Democratic nominee. And to think that he is supposed to be in touch with stuff and he can't even do a speech. And I got him beat. I got more sense about me than he does. And so anybody that can't do what I can do, which is not a lot, I'm thinking to myself, I ain't voting for that guy. I'm sorry. He ain't got all his crackers, but Trump can go out there and he can do stuff off the cuff and talk for hours. Biden can't talk for 5 minutes. Okay. And it's not whether you like the guy or not, but who is more proficient in being able to speak for us? This guy that's going versus somebody who's articulate and can actually carry on a conversation. Now, I am going to vote for Trump. Again, I voted for Trump the last time. One of the few times I've ever voted Republican. I'm not trying to sway anybody's vote. But in realizing what they're trying to do to him, it's like for the last 4 years with the Russia gate, the this gate, the that gate, the you name it, it's like the conspiracy of folk who've been trying to murder him. Okay. And there has been several times when it's actually, they've tried to kill him. And as much as I didn't like Bush or Obama, I never wished harm on him. I wish somebody would knock him in the head and take him out, but not kill him. There's no. As much as I'd like to punch a couple of them in the face, but the idea though that I'm sorry, we elected them, however they got in there, and we're just going to have to live 4 years or impeach them, take them out legally. There's lots of legal ways we can do this if we really want to. And so most of us know that, or can understand that, what's been going on the last 4 years about trying to convict him, throw him out of office and blah, 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 is just been a waste of our taxpayers' dollars, a waste of our time. Think of all the constructive things, regardless of whether you believe it or not. Just think of all the positive things that could have been done in wake of all the hearings and all the investigations, all the millions and millions and millions of dollars wasted went into people's pockets. Well, this lawyer had to get paid for X amount of hours, and this and had to do with this and that. And it was all about the money to keep it all up. So all these people within the group, well, we got another special thing. Well, these people didn't do it for free. So the Democrats and a lot of other folks tried to keep this thing alive, and they did for damn near 4 years. But nothing was ever there. But do you think that anybody would believe that? No. Now, a lot of us have. And I've been watching this for the last 5 years. So ever since Trump got announced. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll vote for them and maybe I'll do that. But I wouldn't have voted for Clinton for nothing. For nothing. I wouldn't have voted. But, or I'd have voted for, an independent. But, anyway. But I voted for Trump because I watched his speech and I watched his articulation. I watched the fact that he could command a crowd. And I'm not all for everything that he does. Do not get me wrong. I have my criticism of him, but he is our president, and he's trying to get us out of this lockdown. Okay. But there's a lot of opposition, meaning the Democrats want us to put a mask on all the time. And there's too much backlash with people already. And which direction do you want to go? Do you want to have to wear a mask all the time? Or, or do you want to, okay, that's it. The numbers are out, the people that died are really low. And even though it was, it was a lot. Well, then they found out, but most of them were old people who were sick already. And, not to say that they, but any kind of virus could have took them out. Just another flu virus versus, ooh, how bad this was. And, there's a lot of information out there, and do a little bit of Google research. But the CDC in Atlanta has had this virus for years. They've had it. There's a patent on it, which if the 19 is natural, then it can't be patented. If it isn't natural and was created, then it could be patented. But the thing is though, the CDC kind of owns this thing. People are, oh no, that's not true. Do a little bit of fact checking, do a little background. I was like, I wasn't going to go into that, but then I saw this video today on the Chris Ann Hall, I think she is. She's an attorney, hang on, a constitutional amendment type attorney, and she knows her stuff. And they got a live feed that they do Monday through Fridays in the evenings, and they touch on subjects and all this. But anyway, whether you're Democrat or Republican, you should look at what the person has or has not done. Now, Creepy Joe, as Trump pointed out today, Creepy Joe's been in office in Washington for 47 years. What can he say he actually did? He signed off on every single war, so he's a warmonger. He signed off on this, that, and the other thing, and blah, 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 and supported this and that, And so, and he was the vice president to Obama. And so all the things that they did illegally and behind the thing, and Biden's son, the big stink over there when when they went over into the Ukraine back in the day and started a war over there because it was all about oil and this and that. That's all true, you know. Oh, well, no. Listen, that guy is as corrupt as the day is long. I wouldn't vote for him simply because of that. He's a corrupt politician. So, but, somebody said, well, who bought off Trump? And I think to myself, he's a billionaire. What do you mean? How did they buy Trump off? Are you serious? They asked him that I consider the White Hats or somebody that it's like, all right now, there isn't anybody that's a senator or governor or whatever right now that we can get behind. But we got to get it out of this mess. And as a CEO, which the presidency is supposed to be, as CEO, I think he's done a pretty good job. I don't agree with everything, but I haven't agreed with a lot of but sometimes in politics, you got to do stuff, whether you really like it at the end of the day or not. You got to, I can't keep them always pissed off. I got to do a little something over here to kind of tamp it down, But going back to Mark Antony and the speech and Brutus and so forth, there are a lot of people out there with daggers, and they're all willing to stab. Every one of them is willing to put the blade in. But then what would happen after the fact? Then who would take his place? And then, Creepy Joe, you want Kamala Harris to be the president if something happens to Joe? Seriously? Honest to God? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, experience and flip-flop and all that kind of stuff. She ain't got it. So, but if people want to go, oh, we're going to vote for these people. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. If they were qualified, I'd go, well, but neither one of them really are. So, but anyway, but enough about that. But in this thing about honor, so there are people who talk about their honor when they're lying, cheating, been taking bribes, their sons over in the Ukraine, creating, destruction and havoc. And people got killed over that mess over there. Some of them are still arguing, but, Biden and his son literally ought to be shot for treason for what they did to the Ukraine over there with the oil and all. Seriously, they created a mess. And here's the thing. We knew about it at the time. It was in the news, but it was on RT, Russian television. So nobody believed it. Well, what's, Hunter Biden doing over there in the Ukraine? Well, he's setting up this business. And everything's hunky-dory and yada, yada, yada. But then to hear it from their side of it, what the F is this guy doing over here, right? So anyway. So my point is that is that there are a lot of people who are willing to claim what honorable men they are, and that because I am an honorable man, you should listen to me when I tell you this. I am an honorable man, and mine honor should be recognized. So don't question my honor, as Brutus says, And I think we should. We need to question people's honor. They take an oath of office. Have they upheld their oath of office? Let's just start there with some of this. So, and the point is that many of them have breached their oath of office, and that's and if you're a federal official or something, that's treasonable, sedition, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, now should they get hung or thrown in jail? Depends on how bad it is. But if they're not working for the people and are not, defending the Constitution, so all of these people who want to take your guns, then they have, and they're pushing to take them, repeal the Second Amendment. If they have taken an oath to defend the Constitution, but they want to change it, that's not defending it. You know? So, well, we're going to defend it, but we're going to rewrite it. We're going to rewrite it so we like it better. No, 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 no. None of us are really, we look at it and go, but it pretty much takes care of it. Don't we have enough laws? And if you say, no, we're taking that away, no, well, then you would have a civil war. And I'm talking, it wouldn't be it would be, I'm sorry, but it might be very bloody. Because there are people like, you ain't taking my gun. You just ain't. And I'll give you this one maybe, but I got 20 more and I got several rounds to prove it. So, but they're tracking, ammunition. So if somebody buys too much ammo, if somebody does this or that. Now there are people who are, my brother was much into guns and he would reload his own shells because it was cheaper, So he wanted to go out and do a range. And he didn't need a real powerful load. He just wanted target practice, right? So he could, put less gunpowder in than normal just for target practice. And he would sit and make up his own rounds, his own bullets. So, if you got enough powder and stuff, I mean, you can buy these little molds and get some lead and make your own, ends anyway. So the idea, though, that these people take an oath, but then out of this side of their mouth, or maybe this one, they want to correct it, change it, and don't stand for it. So if you don't want to defend it, then why did you take the oath? Well, I'll go ahead and say this right now, but when I get in office, I'm going to change this shit. And I've met people like that locally, and you go, oh man, okay, I'm not voting for you, and please Jesus, don't let them get in. And some of them did, and we've had to go through some crap here in the county. So it's like, but if everybody else is dumb enough, well, I heard he was a really good guy. They said he was an honorable man. But it's Brutus. So, but he's an honorable man. So, I'm like, oh, Jiminy Christmas. But anyway, so the angels have been after me to talk about this and bring it up. Teresa, hi. Gerald, how are you? Every person's free will at every moment is vital to human decency. Yeah, and people have lost their decency. Gerald, I agree with you. I did a video the other day about it, and it was a lot longer than I anticipated, but so are a lot of them. Who else is in here? Break the cycle. How are you? Once they take your guns, they take your freedom. Teresa says Biden upheld his oath of office, served his country many years while Trump's searched the world overseas. Many people, yeah, right. So, I'm not a gun fanatic, and they took my rights away because I was busted for marijuana, and I just think that's rude. But I do have an air rifle and plan to get another one. Break the cycle. I got a funny conspiracy question. What if Trump is pretending to care for the American people and Biden is pretending to be a half-wit? I don't think I don't think Biden is pretending, because he has been failing ever since he was in office with Obama. And besides that, we don't want Creepy Joe, whether he's, Sleepy Joe or not. We don't want the Creepy Joe in there. But his articulation is gone. Wherever his mind is, it ain't there anymore. I mean, I watched him for, years ago kind of thing, and no. Yeah, no vaccine, no chips. They were talking about, people today that on one of the stations I was watching or whatever, and I'm watching the chat, and folks are talking about vaccines, and it's like anything that they rush to produce, I don't care what it is, runs the risk of it not being the first car off the line. You don't want it. They always used to say, don't buy a car that was made on Monday or Friday. But what do you mean? Because Friday, everybody wants to get the hell away and go party. And Monday, they're all hung over from partying since Friday. So don't get a car made on Monday or Friday. But Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, man, but anyway, since I worked in the auto industry, that was a sort of a, um, yeah, but anything that is pushed to production to get it out the door. Now, here's the thing. I found out, unintentional, but about the 19 virus being that the CDC knew about it. And it's like, what? Now they're blaming the Chinese, but what? So they've had this virus and have been trying to. Why in God's green earth would the CDC or anybody want to patent a virus that could potentially kill us? So if they have this virus, oh, well, we're going to study it. Why? And unless you turn that thing loose, we're all good. Well, yeah, we're going to see and we're going to pathogen. Then the CDC and those in charge are guilty of possessing a bioweapon. Pay attention. And I thought to myself, hang on. Well, they've known about it for years. Check it out. I was shocked. And they recently reapplied to the trademark folks to, to keep it hush hush. Well, if it's a natural thing and you can't trademark it or patent it, but you've got a patent application in on it, then then the CDC is guilty of bioterrorism. They're our worst enemy, and they're the ones that are going to come up with a vaccine for us. Yeah, right. I'm going to take it. Sure. No, give me a revolver. I'll just, if that's my choice, I'm out of here. Break the cycle. Let's see. Gerald, Project Skypulse. I don't know if I said hi. I know there are a couple of folks hanging out in the background. I love you all. Michelle, yep. Anyway, Teresa, I don't think it is about money, but it is about ego. Okay. He isn't a narcissist, but he has to be. We need somebody. It ain't about money. He's got so much money now. It doesn't matter. If he cared about money, he'd take salary, but he's not even taking salary from us. So, and if you understand some of the ET things that are going on, there was this 8-foot tall dude standing next to Air Force One engine. The picture I saw it, and I was like, that dude's, and they're talking about that the tall whites have been in trying to help relieve things. And now, for those of you who believe in the ET thing and other stuff, But there are several pictures out there and some video of a UFO. Now, it could be ours, near Air Force One. But for those of you who know who Dante is, DSAHK, then you automatically understand there is something much, 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 much bigger going on. And I've seen my share of UFOs overhead, watched one shoot another one down, and there's a war going on. And it's a much bigger deal because it's not about money, but it is about power. But it's the power to, a lot of the things that are being done is to change the power structure so that no one person will ever have that kind of power again. They're trying to go back to the original Constitution before America became a corporation. They want to go back to 1862 or 3 or something like that. About 64 or 5, there was some stuff, but anyway, do your research. And Albert Pike started this stuff about, he predicted what's going on right now. And that was in 1870 or 80 or something like that. Look up Albert Pike. And all of that is relevant information. But there is a bigger thing going on here. There are too many folks are being short-sighted. Oh, it's about money. It's about this. It's about that. It's about a whole lot more than that. I'm just saying. Now, y'all can believe what you want to. I'm not trying to sway your opinion, but I am trying to explain to you, hang on, that could be a part of it, but there is a bigger picture. And for those of us who, I say, in the know and have seen, experienced, or whatever, this other type entity, angels, if you want, the white hats, they are, break the cycle. Glad you were there. So, but anyway, everything is subject to, see you break the cycle. Much love and cosmic hugs and continued blessings. So, but anyway, we can see this. We can see some things on the surface, and then, but for those of us who have, I don't know, got a peek at something else, and for every time I think, well, I don't know, another something comes in, and I wanted to. I'm going to do a separate video on the Earth wobble. But I see, Marie. The stuff I'm learning as well as the Kingdom of Australia. My brother was arrested for wanting to hoist a Federation flag as the Sydney Anzac Shrine to reclaim our sovereignty. I understand. Hey, Alex, hi there. They called my brother a terrorist. That's why I haven't been around. Marie, I'm so sorry. Well, we'll send I will send my prayers out to you and for your brother, because I have been in not like that, but a sort of similar situations and being arrested and all that, and being he's still in jail. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you might be a terrorist if you wear, you hoist a flag. You might be a terrorist if you don't believe this, and you might be a terrorist if you don't believe that. And there are some people about this mask stuff that they have just gone bonkers over, And there's a little video out there. It's a 2-year-old kid that's got a mask on, and they're outside in the yard, and they're taking a video of this little girl, and she just grabs this mask like this and goes, boom, and throws it down on the ground and walks away. And I was like, now that says it all right there. A 2-year-old, like, I'm not putting up with this. I haven't seen what's happened to Melbourne. I'll check it out, Marie. There's been some word too that the UK is going to shut back down, and some of these people are just flipping nuts. Let's just put it right there. And but anytime we try to voice our opinion or do something like raise a flag and protest, now these Antifa and BLM folks are like, oh my God, they're going nuts. They're rioting and they're breaking stuff. And now have a protest, hold up a sign, hold up a flag. Okay. But this other stuff is, it's insanity times 10. And everybody, I've been listening to Greg Hunter and Gerald Celente and all of economists and this person and that person in all different in all different areas, and they're all saying the same thing. They want to ramp up the violence between now and then. And if we think things are rough now, hold on to your panties, because it could get a lot worse. And there are those factions that are trying to make it happen. Think Agenda 21. That's a serious that's a serious thing. And Agenda 2030, and that was put out by the UN and everybody, and they all voted on it. Yay. And it's population, reduction. And, and we're not falling for it. The human race has said, you have pulled the wool over our eyes long enough. And it's sort of like the in the play where the people in the streets are listening to Brutus because Brutus is an honorable man. And he goes, well, we killed Caesar because he was ambitious. And he suffered grievously for his, ambition. And Marc Antony points out, he goes, if Caesar were ambitious, then that was a bad trait of his. Because, he has a will to give you all some money and his land. Now, Caesar was ambitious, but Brutus was an honorable man, So are they all honorable men? I found that one line and I thought, so there are so many folks out there who are willing to stab and literally kill. How many, you've heard people say, I was ready to just kill Trump. It's like, I'm sorry. That should just not happen. I'm sorry. There were people during the Obama administration who were saying, you come and take my gun. And they were arrested. Their YouTube videos gone. God knows what happened to them. And they were all just like having they come to try to take my weapon. And they just did. I don't know whatever happened. There are a lot of people 4 years ago or more that were showing off and saying, before Trump got elected and all this stuff. And so they all just disappeared. I don't know what happened to them, but they ain't on YouTube no more. There might be another channel or whatever, but I've looked around and I haven't seen hide nor hair of some of these folks. Now, so it's like, they're trying to shut us down. Alex says, more and more people are waking up to Antifa and BLM, both sponsored by George Soros. Here's one of the things. Whether they're sponsored or not, they have these, you can donate money to them. And so it's like, the last time they heard Black Lives Matter is like $30 million. What are they doing with the $30 million? They're supporting the rioters. Wrong. That shouldn't be they should be, they should be spending that money on change within the cities and with the people. They should be providing legal help pro bono for people or whatever. But this idea that, you know, yeah, I don't know if they got more than $1 billion, Alex, but there was 30 million or 33 million that was like they could really account for, you know what I'm saying? But that's still a chunk of change. And what are they using it for? So people are sending in money, Black Lives Matter, blah blah blah. Okay. But if it were me and I had the Black Lives Matter thing, I would be helping medical aid, soup kitchens, beds for homeless, homes for homeless, tiny homes for homeless. But you know, Marie also says it is what it is it's what the risk is, as long as you know you're standing in the law and you know your human rights. Yeah, but sometimes they're you know, Alex says today is Hillary Clinton's court date. Yay, we'll see. More people are waking up to the whole thing. You know, the polls that are coming out, and it's like, oh, black people don't like Trump, and women don't like Trump, and this and that and the other thing. Look, whether or not you like him, he's better than the alternative. But like I said, there's other things going on. You know, that tall white alien standing next to the Air Force One, I was like, what? He's, man, he was standing on the ground. His head was almost level with the top of the engine cowling. That's tall. And some of the other people standing just away from him over off to the side, oh my God, they looked like midgets. But anyway, let's just consider, I did a play years ago by Molière. He was a French writer back in the day. And there is a play called The Doctor in Spite of Himself. And it's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. Now, in it, the premise is there's this woodcutter who he drinks a lot and abuses his wife. And literally, you know, we used slapsticks from the old days. So he literally beat his wife. So there was slap, slap, slap. Anyway, so he gets drunk and falls asleep. And a couple of guys come along and they say, look, we're looking for a doctor. He's a famous doctor. We know he's around here somewhere. And his wife does an aside to the audience and goes, this is my chance to get back at my worthless husband. So she tells the two strangers who are coming from the king or something, or a duke or somebody, and says, you know, well, there's this great doctor, and he's so great, he's so humble that he won't admit that he's a doctor. And he'll find him down the road, probably drunk and asleep with his axe, because he pretends to be a woodsman. And so the two guys look at each other and go, and she said, you might even have to beat it out of him. Wink, wink, nod, nod. So as the story goes on, they go down the road, they find him asleep by the stump with his axe, and they go, are you the great doctor? And he goes, no, I'm a woodsman. And they go, no. Well, the lady told us he wouldn't admit it. Are you the great doctor we seek? No, I'm just. And so they end up beating this guy. And finally he goes, yes, I'm the great doctor. So he became the doctor in spite of himself. And boy, all kinds of stuff ensues. It's really funny. And it's ancient. You know, it's 400 years old or something, 300 years old. It's funnier than snot. And but anyway, but here's the thing: Punch and Judy back in the day, Punch and Judy was allowed to make remarks against the king and royalty and whatever as puppets. But if two people were to do that, they'd have been hung, shot, stabbed, and crucified, all in that order, or you know, pick an order. So political dissent has been around for a long time. And people, just like Marie's brother, gets thrown in jail for trying to hang up a flag. So we stand our ground. Um, where we go one, we go all. Right. Yeah, they can twist things a lot. And that's the thing, that of all the stuff that my spirit guides are want me to holler at, and well, not holler, but point out to folks. Listen, don't get caught up in the chaos. Keep your eye on this stuff, because it's going to get really weird. And it may be that some more of us have to go to jail to say no to this stuff. And Marie, I'll pray for your brother. What's your brother's name? First name kind of thing, just so I know. Oh, Marie went BRB. October surprise. Right, I agree. And oh, just to throw this in, I'm going to do a separate video. You know, I used to do videos about the Earth wobble, and I discussed it over the last couple of days. And for the last several months, things have been really, stable. The moon, I could see out this window. Now, tonight I went outside to see the moon rise, and it's way over here. Well, it's way over here versus way over here. So in the last week, it's went like 10, 20, 30, 40 degrees from down here to straight overhead. And I was listening to another channel, seeing what they had to say. And one of the first things they said, oh, by the way, the earth is wobbling big time right now. And I thought to myself, now I just wanted to check out whatever the title was. But this person who I've been listening to for years says, oh, by the way, the earth is really wobbling again. And I went, oh, holy crap, somebody else is noticing it, and they don't do earth wobble videos like I have, but it's time for me to do one. But anyway, so there's a lot of weirdness going on. And, ET says that, the election is going to be like a really big deal. We'll see. We've been fooled before. Who's a clone? Roll the dice. It's all up in the air right now. Yes, it is. You heard Hillary did bad. Oh, there's a clone of Hillary, and also Hillary had a cousin. And that time on 9/11, when they took her out and put her in that van and drove off, and then a few hours later, she appeared at her daughter's place, all spry and chipper and everything. They made the switch right there, right in front of you, God, and everybody. And people always say, oh, no, this Hillary, that's the real Hillary. No, it ain't. Her cheekbones are different. Her ears are different. I mean, I've done theater work and stuff. She's her cousin or something. But the Hillary that's out now ain't Hillary. The Hillary that we saw get thrown in that van that day, that was the real Hillary. But she didn't come out. She didn't come down them stairs that day. Nope, sorry, that was a different person altogether. And a lot of us said back then, that's not Hillary. And it was in her cheekbones. Her cheekbones are too high. And it was like, what? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, they try to pull the wool over her eyes all the time. Now, whether she's a clone or not, I do believe that there is a clone, because, when they first made the switch, they tried a clone, and the clone just wasn't working. But so the cousin had to step back in. But anyway, you can say, well, I don't know if I believe that shit. Okay, it's up to you. But, there are a bunch of us way back in the day that said, that just ain't her. She did not. That's not her that came down them stairs. Hey, Marie, tell me your brother's first name. So when I'm thinking about him, I can send him a prayer. Okay, directly. Um, I'll contact my spirit guide and say, okay, let's send some help towards John. Wait a minute. How is that? How do you pronounce that? With a yuha? Wuha? Do you pronounce it with a J, Marie? Yuha? Sort of like John, but yuha? Yes, the presidents have been using doubles for years. Yes, I absolutely agree. And I would there were times when the and I tried to find I really did look. There's the red tie Donald and there's the blue tie Donald. And I was like, but they really seem a lot alike. John in English, I see. Good, Marie. So I was kind of right. Yuha? I said it right the first time? Okay. John. All right. I'll do it. And anybody else out there who might watch this to this fur in, Marie has a brother who is in the Australian prison system because he tried to. It'd be like for us down here in the South to hang up the stars and bars. And it's like, okay, us Southerners, but I know a lot of people in Ohio that are that display the stars and bars. So it ain't just Southerners. It has to do with states' rights because that was originally what the big brouhaha was about. But everybody turned it into slavery. But anyway, it began as states' rights. Now, those of us Southerners who are Southerners, I guess, yeah, they get plastic surgery to be doubles. Yep. There was a movie out, and I don't know what it was called, and it was a Saddam Hussein double, and it was a comedy about how they brought this guy in, and J, there's no R, Kiskanen. Yep. Okay. Well, keep our prayers going in that direction, Marie. I support anybody that's trying to stand up for, look, I guess there are people out there, if they watch my videos about how I feel about masks and stuff, they can say, we want to kill that idiot, that old hippie down there in Georgia. Anyways, he's Aries and he's got a lot to learn. His ego gets in the way. Oh, yeah. We have to have enough ego to be self-confident, but not to the point. And I wrestled with this myself. I was a damn good engineer and I tried to push it on everybody. And I realized that nobody was listening. So I had to speak more quiet and keep my thing. Here's an idea. What do y'all think? And turn around and walk away. And then later on, it might not take right away, but sovereign protection. I prefer the real American flag of peacetime. It's only been used 3 years, a long time ago. Yes, right, sovereign. We need our correct flag and take the gold fringe off, Marie says he needs to learn how to use his words more wisely. Oh, it took me 20 years to learn that. Oh, my goodness gracious. Get beat on the head by the spirits. Don't say it like that, Hawkeye. Bam, bam. Okay, all right, But anyway, yes. Oh, what a hard lesson many of us have to learn in that. It's all right to speak, but, should you holler, scream, and F this, F that, screw you, blah, blah, blah. That only gets people really pissed off and they don't want to listen to what you say. And there was a song by Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And it was a song that they wrote about David Crosby, because David Crosby back in the day, and maybe even now, I don't even know if he's still alive, but was using drugs. And so there's a line in there that say, you're screaming too loud. No one can hear you. And so it's like, I hear you coming to the end of the day. Was it worth it? No one can say. I see your face, it is ghostly pale. Into the sunset we are watching you sail. I can't remember the name of the song, but there's that much of the verse anyway. But to the point, so that, screaming too loud, no one can hear you. And so there are those folks who are screaming so loud, nobody pays attention. And I realized that I was sort of doing the same thing. And I know a lot of other people that are, unfortunately, they're screaming too. Years ago, they weren't screaming. But after all these years and watching this stuff, they've become grumpy old. I dang that pretty well. I used to sing in a group, and so I'm out of practice, but I want to get back into it and play some music. I wrote a song years ago about you can take your mask off. And it had to do with the fact that people will put a mask on, and it was all about mental health, and I realized that in life I was wearing a mask because people didn't see the real me, and I wasn't really showing them the real me. And so the song is about, y'all can take your mask off so I don't feel so bad. Even if you're uglier, it really ain't that bad. Anyway, I have to find the verses, but so it was all about people taking their mask off to show who they really were, rather than, I'm this blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know. I wrote that song 20 years ago, and it came back up in my head, and I'm like, somewhere I wrote it down. And to play it now is so that y'all can take your mask off is a different connotation. You want to hear the song? I'll look for it, honestly, because it's like come back into my head. And it was a totally different, it's the mask that we put on as when we go out in public, I'm going to be straight. Anyway, it's been an hour and 22 minutes, and you want to hear the mask song? Yes. Okay, I got you, Sovereign. I will find it and practice my little guitar. I've been wanting to do that as well. I've been doing some cleaning around here, but now you don't care. Oh, about showing your picture. Yep. I realized that, for me and my ugly mug, I'm like, it is what it is. Well, I shave and I put on deodorant to do a live stream, just in case you can smell me from there. I used to tell Brian that all the time. Milky Way. I was like, "Are you ready to do a show?" And I go, "Yeah." I put on, I got underwear on and underarm deodorant. I put deodorant on, and shave just so I could do this. Oh, well, but anyway, thank you. I'm not ugly. Well, I am what I am. But my point is that, trying to be something that you're not. And I'm just like, okay, so I'm just some common guy. I'm an old hippie. All right. Okay. But to the point there, I'm not going to put on any airs, And love your Facebook picture rafting. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got some pictures I should try to put on my Facebook page, I reckon. For whatever reason, Facebook and these computers just don't get along. Don't know why. It hangs up, it does this. I try to upload something and it's like, yeah. But anyway, listen, my friends. Brutus is an honorable man. Brutus says that Caesar was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. And Marc Antony comes out right away and he says, "Friends, Romans, and countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do live after them. So let it be with Caesar." I'm doing this from memory. The good that men do are oft interred with their bones. In other words, the good deeds they do get buried with them, you know. So, but anyway, but the idea though that with this, we should be careful. The warning about this is honor. Those who spout being honorable people, are they really? Let's just be careful with that. Thank you, Teresa. I didn't really practice, but and I wasn't going to do this video. I mean, it's 3 o'clock in the morning here, right? And they were like, "Nah, I've been out getting ready to pour concrete on the porch outside. Me and the dog have been outside." And I told the dog, I said, "Man, let's go inside and take a break." And here I am doing this video about Marc Antony and all. But anyway, thank you. Many blessings. So beware of honorable men, you know. Thanks as always, Michelle, for you all hanging out. And I sort of got off topic there at the end, but we just I just want y'all to vote, And if you think it's this person or that group, go for it. And if you think it's this person or that one, then go for it. And if you don't vote, and then if all you want to do is bitch and complain about everybody, well, then I say just if you're not going to participate, whether it works or not, if you don't participate, I just say this because a lot of people over the years have said, "Well, why do you vote, Dave?" And I was like, because I want to participate. Well, your vote don't really count, but I believe it does. I believe at some point it's going to work. And so, and if I believe it enough, maybe it'll actually work. So, and I voted for people that didn't get in, and I voted against people that did get in, so it works both ways. But if I didn't participate at all, then I should just shut up and not talk about it ever again, because I have not taken my own position. I have not backed a certain person and said, "Well, you're going to get my vote for whatever the reasons. I don't like everybody else. So, but you seem to be fair. Okay, ding." Versus somebody I abhor or hate. Oh my God, out of here. So, but anyway, but if people say, "Well, I'm just not going to vote," then you're out of the game. Shut up about it. Well, but Trump and Biden and you don't want to vote, so shut up. Then okay, we all have a right to bitch. Don't get me wrong, but there are people who, "Well, I wouldn't have voted for him." Okay, if you don't like the choices, if you don't want to vote, that's your decision. But to keep bitching about it all the time, calm yourself down. Either vote for somebody, pick a side, or if you're just going to sit on the fence and go, "Man, I don't like nobody." And I did that back a few elections ago. So, and I'm not picking on you, Teresa, or anybody else. But to the point, though, my grandpa told me this. He said, "If you're not going to participate, shut up." And I was like, but now, take a stand. And your stand could be wrong, and that's okay. Or this guy could win and him be a total loser, and you go, "Well, I voted for that guy, some bitch." I voted for Obama the first time, and I'm like, "Oh God, what a mistake I made." So because I believed in the honor of it, and I thought, well, Joe Biden, he's been a senator, and blah 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 blah. What an idiot, and he showed himself during his vice presidency. And I wouldn't vote for him as vice president the last time him and Obama ran. Why would I vote for him now? I mean, from my own personal viewpoint, I didn't vote for him the second time. So why would I vote for him now? I'm just saying. So, but people are like, well, I'm a Democrat and I'm going to vote the party line. Throw that party line out the window, because there are some Democrats that are in Georgia who've actually done some good. And there are some Republicans, I'm afraid they would get in there and tighten things up a little bit too much and make things a little crazy. And it's like, we need a balance, that it doesn't need to be all one opinion. We need a few dissenters out there. But some of them are just absolutely damn worthless. And I'm sorry, but, a different point of view is fine. But if all you're going to do is criticize and complain, find a midpoint. Why, I'm not going to talk to that person. Why? Well, because he's a freaking Republican. Republicans all think the same thing. Did you sit down and try to talk to him? No, I'm a Democrat. He's a Republican. Oh, shut up. Sit down to the table and discuss, regardless of party lines. All this other kind of crap. You were elected to support me, as a person of the county, of the state, and of the country. But if you're just going to argue all the time, you're not doing me, the voter, any good, or any of us any good. So either get your ass to work or shut up. Get out. If all you're going to do is bitch and complain, and I'm talking about senators and representatives, if all they're going to do is create mayhem, get out. Because that's not doing any of us any good. I don't care what party they're from. If all they're going to do is argue and create dissension, get out. Put somebody else in, don't care, who's willing to do the job, right? That's all we want. We want decent people to do a decent day's work to help us, the city, county, state, federal, right? That's what we want. So talk about getting up on a soapbox, right? But anyway, and like I said, I know who I'm going to vote for, and I'm not trying to sway your vote, and I think there are enough of us that have already made up their mind. Now, I've watched 4 different programs in the last 2 days. Actually, it's been more than that, more programs in the last 2 days, 6 or 8, I don't know. And this one was with Gerald Celente, and this one was with this person, and this one was over here, and that one was over here with these people. So it hasn't been all of a bunch of, the same type of video, right? So, but they're all talking about that the mail-in votes are what the Democrats are going to try to keep the election from happening. And if Trump wins, that he won't get sworn in, because there's some kind of rule about if they haven't made a decision, then Mike Pence, the vice president, would get sworn in. And if worse come to shove, then Nancy Pelosi would get sworn as president pro tem kind of thing. And like, do we really want Nancy Pelosi? Are you serious? And the thing that's got some people upset, that Nancy went into, her people called up this shop, right? And just walked in the door with no mask on, her and her folks. And it's like, there was a big group, and the lady of the salon was like, she just walks in here and does her thing, and no consideration for me or my workers. And I was like, holy crap. So some of these people, and she was one of the folks, wear your mask all the time. And she goes in a place with no mask, no this. Oh my goodness gracious me. So two-faced. So again, man or woman, are they honorable? And when I look at their record and some of their stuff, and I go, nope, these people aren't honorable, because all they want to do is create chaos. They're not trying to solve any issues. They're not trying to work anything out. All they want is chaos. Sorry, I'm not going to listen to these folks anymore. Yeah, our government is enough. Fox Rodriguez, can you guys pray for me right now? Sure. What? Any particular thing, Fox? Give us a hint. You don't have to go into details. Health, something. I mean, we can all send you, good vibes without understanding why. A moment of silent intent for Fox Rodriguez. Fox says, my heart and health and my strength of mind. Thank you. That puts it right very concisely. Let's all take a moment, please, and send some prayer and healing to Fox Rodriguez. Deep breath in, count of 4. Hold it for 2 and release. For Fox Rodriguez, I pray, we pray, send good energy to help his heart and health and the strength of mind. The energy is available in the universe. From my spirit guide to your spirit guide, help Fox find that energy and help turn it on to help heal and to help bring presence of mind. It is said, it is done. We hope it reaches you, Fox. Sovereign says, I've sent my higher vibes. Yes, thank you. Fox, thank you all for participating in that. And Fox, I'm always praying for folks like that. And we do hope, as my prayers every time I do a video, I do hope everybody will learn to accept and receive the healing, the knowledge, and the wisdom from the universe. Because there were times like today, I did not, I was like, ain't going to do this, blah, blah, blah. And here I am an hour and 40 minutes into this. And wasn't, you're welcome, Fox. I wasn't going to do a video, blah, blah, blah. I was going to do, and here I am sitting, hanging out with you folks. And Fox needed some help. We all needed to talk with Marie and golly, I'm gonna thank John, Marie. I got to go back up here and find out. Do we find the cost of freedom buried in the ground? Mother Earth will swallow you. Lay your body down. Gotta write this down. I will forget. I forgot I had to scroll back up, Marie. Sorry, folks. I had to, before I let go of this, the chat room, because sometimes I can't go back into the chat, and it sucks. Because I'm like, somebody sent me something. I was like, but KISK. O-N-E-N. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. I want to follow up on what Marie sent and what's going on in Melbourne. Um, Look, a lot of folks are just absolutely, good night, Sovereign. Thank you. It's way past my bedtime too, and I was going to pour some cement tonight, but I think it's too late now. Fox says, "Yeah, I'm in bed too. I just got a weird attack or something, and felt like reaching out for you guys. Anytime, there are times when I've said before that, the angels will kick my butt and say, get on here and do a video, and I'll look up and go, but why? And then I find out after I do it that it was meant to be, the synchronicity. And here I am, okie dokie. But, we were here for Fox, we were here for Marie and for her brother, and we're here for each other and for the universe. So, with that said, you know, um, 40 minutes of, dramatic reading and the rest, an hour's worth of ranting on about other things. Well, just like me, to say, well, I'm gonna make this a short video, and then 3 hours later we say adios to each other. But anyway, it is time for my bed, and I have been sitting in and doing concrete work and stuff today, and I got to move around. But I do absolutely love you all. Thank you so much for who you are. And each one of us, I know there are folks out there that ask me all the time, am I actually, doing any good? Is me personally, is my spirit, doing anything for the universe? And the answer is yes. You gotta believe that it is. There are folks and angels and beings and things that are hearing us. We may not see it through all the chaos, but listen, the chaos could be worse. We don't want it to be. And that's how we keep our sanity. We stay out of the chaos. We keep an eye on it, but we stay out of it. If you're going to vote, vote in person if you absolutely possibly can. Now, there are some places that say you can vote early. And if you can't get there on election day, then go early if your state or county allows it. But for God's sakes, please reconsider, any kind of mail-in anything. There is so much fraud is tied to that. It's just like you might as well just throw that in the garbage, because you'll never know if it gets there or not. So I want us to be at peace. I think that all this strife and anger is overreaction. So many people now about the virus are understanding that it was manufactured by us. Whether the Chinese let it loose or not, that's not the issue. There's so much information out there, and I wasn't even going to go on the virus conspiracy. I was leaving that alone. Okay, it's here. We're just going to deal with it. But then when I found out, oh my God, about the trademarks and the patents and so forth, what? I thought some of these folks were joking. They're not joking. They really did apply for a patent on something that is a bio weapon, the CDC. And we want to trust these people? Honor. Yep, that's it. So, my friends, I love you all. Thank you, Fox. Hey, there's truth in me. Did you just show up? And we're just leaving. We love you all. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you. I think we're all doing I think we're all doing well. We're doing good for the community. We're doing good things for the universe. Well, I've said this before, but whether it's a Christmas tree or not, but looking at the planet, but for each one of us, we're a single light bulb. But the brighter that light shines, the universe can see it. you know? And you say, well, I don't know if I'm really having any good. Well, if you doubt yourself, then you may not. Have faith in the fact that you just say, thank you to the universe, whether you believe in a God or not. Just say thank you. And that will help your light shine. And when you stay in a more positive mode and mood or whatever, that light does shine. We are all spiritual beings, and we are all members of the soul tribe, members of the League of Like-Minded Beings. And y'all are my friends too. How about that mess? So, Marie to everybody, Fox, Project Skyfalls, Truth to Me, good to see you. Marie, Project, Truth to Me, Teresa, that's who I'm missing. And anybody else, I'm Mary Wins, hi, how are you? You're welcome, Mary Wins. And for each one of you that participate, there are times when I absolutely doubt whether or not I should be doing this. I mean, I'm like, and then for whatever reason, Spirit says, yeah, but there's somebody out there that needs to have a chat tonight. Somebody out there needs to connect. Somebody out there, okay, we're going to do this thing now. And so here I am, and I'm hoping, and you all are the proof. I keep hoping that, okay, because I was told by Mother Mary that if was her thing to me, if one person hears what you have to say, Hawkeye, and it changes their mind so that they will think and understand the universe a little differently. Because I was told when I was 11, we're going to ask you to discuss some things. You will be called a heretic. You will be called a blasphemer. You will be called a this and a this and a that. Well, in all of the things that I've done, I ended up having one of my videos put on Dante's channel. And for those of you who know who Dante is, I thought to myself, now here's someone who is part of the Charistus and who's part of the angel group and the Azazans. And here I am being chosen to be on their channel. And my discussions of Mother Mary and some of the things, and I have been given these messages, and then either sometimes before or after, Dante will come and do a video, and there'll be something about it and go, they just sent me that message. What the hell? Now I don't know. I don't have any quote special, any inside information as to what's going on. I just know that it is. And there are enough things in other people, places, and other venues. And be it listening to a different channel today, and they're talking, yep, the earth is wobbling again. It just picked up a couple of, about a week ago. And I was like, somebody else is paying attention. And then I hear things from Dante, and then I hear things from over here, and this person over there. And I have 200 and some odd channels that I monitor, plus other things that I do in just looking at the news and things, right? So, and I'm always open to I might not like your opinion, but what do you got to say? There might be some truth in there. And so I feel very fortunate, lucky, privileged, humbled big time, because for somebody to take one of my videos and put it on their channel, especially with the connection that Dante has, I think to myself, then maybe some of this information I'm getting, I mean, I believe it's coming from my angel guide, my spirit guide. I know that when I feel the essence of Mother Mary come upon me, that it's a message from the goddess, the female, and her message is, stay in the love and don't lose your faith, And I get that all the time. Or, are there any messages out there that y'all want me to talk about? Well, we want you to talk about Marc Antony and the death of Caesar. Seriously? I mean, This has been going on for a week now that I've been like, do this video. Not, man. Who the hell's going to pay attention? Do the video. Do the video. They will come, build it. They will come. And so I'm like, okay, so here I am. So, but anyway, spiritually, mentally, the whole thing for me is that I feel very fortunate and humbled that any message as I receive that I share with you, somebody out there says, I needed that. I needed to hear that line right there. Somebody just leave a comment and, you hit that nail on the head, So there are some points, and I never ask you to like or share. That's up to you. And I'm not disappointed if you don't. I mean, it's up to the universe. But it's your participation and your intermingling and your thought process and your being in other chat rooms and the soul tribe and we're making a difference. 2 years ago I would have said this is hopeless. They need to blow this flipping planet up and just wipe us all out and start over. God Almighty, just this. I did not see where humanity was going to be able to stand up and be human or whatever. And I was at a loss. And, and Brian and I talked about it several years ago when we first started doing the live stream thingies with each other, or I with him. But we started seeing hope, and I think it's because there are a bunch of us across the board. We stopped talking about Planet X and Nibiru. We stopped talking about this when we started changing and be the frequency you want to receive. We changed our mindset from, I was watching and going through the news again, and oh my God, everything is apocalyptic. We're all going to die again. Oh my God! Oh, the election. We're all going to die again. Oh, everybody should be. Now the preppers are out going. There's going to be an EMP strike. There's going to be a this. We're not going to make it to the elections. There's going to be riots in the street. Well, we already got that. But the South shall rise again. Holy Jesus! Here we go again. Oh, the revolution and the this and the that and the people and the stuff. Calm down, everybody. Let's just calm down. Take one day at a time. And for God's sakes, unless you gotta, defend yourself, for God's sakes, don't go on the offensive. If somebody's in a tiffy mood, don't piss them off. Don't poke your finger in their eye and expect to get a decent remark. So, well, and I've sort of mentioned this before. And as sort of here in a sort of a closing thing, take the blue pill or take the red pill. Now, so the red pill wakes you up and everything, but here's the thing. I think there are some people who have taken the pill, but it's still in their hand. They didn't actually swallow the damn thing. So they've got the red pill or the blue pill, whichever, in their hand, but they haven't swallowed it yet. So in this thing right now, these next 2 months are going to be really damned interesting because a lot of people who had the pill in their hand are going to go, maybe it's time to swallow this, or vice versa. It could be blue pill, right? So, but anyway, a lot's going to be decided these next 2 months. And yes, the earth is wobbling again. And yes, there is unrest. Yeah, there's been some other earthquakes. Well, when the earth starts to wobble, guess what? We're coming up on the autumnal equinox. The day before my birthday. Yippee, I'll be 68. Yoo-ha, wee-ha. Still open. Anybody want to celebrate my birthday by going on the river? That's what I want for my birthday. Somebody to go on the river with me. So anyway. Bob, thank you. I think some of the work they did on my phone lines down here has actually done some good. they've dug up the road, putting in seriously new phone lines in. And I think what it is for DSL, really fast DSL, they have to have a booster every few miles. Well, I noticed that this time there was a booster up the highway about 3 miles. But now they put in another one right up here on the top of the hill over here with electricity and a pole, and it's obviously phone related. So it might be that they have finally gotten, and it's, I'll try my upload speeds later. Buffering on your end, Truth? Okay. I'm watching myself, and sometimes it just glitches and goes and whatever. And it's been fairly stable. But my point is that I think we might actually get the DSL speed, 12 miles in the country that the folks get in town. But because DSL is what it is, and it needs a booster every so many miles, it's taken them a while to get down here. But I noticed, like I said, I don't think they have the electricity hooked up to it yet. But they got the pad down, the pole up, and it's obviously telephone related. So, and they put in 2 other new stations. So I think it's to increase our speed out here. God bless them that they're doing this. We need it, right? But anyway, so it's almost 2 hours. Thank you, Mary Wins, Fox. We hope you feel better. Just take a deep breath. We're not alone in this world. Just remember that, we're not. We may be by ourselves, but we're not alone. And I was talking with a friend of mine the other day, and she was like, I just am so ready to get out of the house. I'm so, and I'm like, but she goes to town all the time. She goes there, she goes over there, she goes over here. She goes 10 times or 15 times more places than I do. And I'm like comfortable, but I'm a crazy hermit. But at the same time, our personalities are different in that I'm okay with being by myself, where other folks aren't. They need human touch. They got to go out. They want to do this, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I sometimes wonder what's wrong with me. And it's not that I don't. Let's see. How do I put this? At being in the theater and so forth like that, I used to crave being around people. And then I got so sick, nobody came, and I was by myself, and I had to learn how to reach this next step. And it's like, sure, I would like to go out and have dinner with some folks or go do this or whatever. But people are busy, and I'm to them, I'm an old crank, and don't have time for me. It's okay. I get it. But I don't feel like I have to go out of my way just to go be around people like I used to. Oh God, I was horribly alone all the time. And now, I might not see a person for weeks, literally, just me and Duggar and the cats and the fox and the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the moon up above and a thing called love. And when I look into your big brown eyes, it's a very plain. Oh, don't get me started. Time you learned about the facts of life, starting from A to Z. Let me tell you. Anyway, got a radio playing in my head right now. Okay, it's been 2 hours. Night, everybody. Thank you. Cosmic hugs. Yes, do something valuable for yourself and for others. Be of value. BOV. If you got a point, VIP. VIP. BOV. VIP. Anyway, love it when you sing. Thank you. I swear I'm going to get my guitar out. I've been chasing things around. So Marie, Project Skyfalls, Teresa, Michelle, as always, Mary Wins. Thank you. I see buffering going on. And I was going to say, thank you, Bob. We've got coffee here. And Halloween will be coming up soon. And I got some old ghost stories I'm going to tell around Halloween time just for the hell of it. But my friends, thank you so much. I do so love you and for what you do. And I'm humbled. Oh, I'm so humbled. And when, like I said, the messages I get from my higher self or the angels, I consider it when I hear it from other places to be fairly accurate. And then as time goes on and things unfold, I go, whoa, it was really accurate. So, but anyway, let's keep our wits about us. Let's keep praying. It never hurts. And if you feel yourself slipping into the chaos, throw out an anchor and holler for help. Fox needed some help this morning. We were here for that. Love is the remedy. Yes. That up and down text stuff. And I don't have my glasses on. TGFN, gratitude. Thank you all. All right, let's close this up. 2 hours. Thank you. I continue to pray that each and every day, each and every one of you, your friends, your family, and all of your relatives and relations, past, present, and to come, will learn to accept, receive, and share the benefits, the wisdom, the knowledge, and the healing from the universe. I continue to pray that each and every day, each and every one of you, your friends, your family, all of your relatives, and all of your relations, and anyone that you may meet, that you will learn to accept and receive the healing, the knowledge, and the wisdom, and the love and the caring from the universe. And as the law of three, I continue to pray that each and every day, each and every one of you will continue to accept, receive, and to share the blessings, the knowledge, and the healing, and the wisdom from the universe. I honestly believe we're making a difference. I see it with all of you. I see it in other chats. There are still some crazy people out there, but I think all in all, in a whole, we've made a dent. Because a couple of years ago, we didn't have this many people. I had 13 people on my channel, and now there's over 450. Thank you, subscribers. Thank you, Nick, Mary Wins, Fox, a bunch of new folks. Thank you all. Cosmic hugs. There will always be some crazies. Yes, the universe wouldn't be correct if there weren't some crazies out there. It's just how crazy, you know. I've been crazy in myself, but back in the day, some of the crazy might have actually hurt some people, but that was from being drunk and high on whatever we were on. But doesn't make it right. But to these days, I would not intentionally try to hurt someone, you know, and I'm very careful to be, you know, that I don't hurt someone unintentionally. You know, we have to be careful with things. So my prayers out to everybody. Nick, thank you. It's how it's all balanced in the end. Yep. There's got to be some darkness, otherwise the light wouldn't work. You know, that's it in a nutshell. Thank you, Truth in Me, Mary Wins, Marie, blessings. I got your brother's name wrote down here. I will continue to send prayers for him. Mary Wins, stay in the frequency. Thank you all. And stay out of the chaos as much as you can. Okay? That's just the way that goes. Try to stay out of the chaos. Keep an eye on it, but keep them emotions, you know, in check. Keep the wits about you. So be the frequency you wish to receive. And from South Georgia, as all us rednecks say, TTFN from down here in South Georgia, keep it between the ditches, because when it rains on them clay roads, you might end up in a ditch. And being in the ditch when it's raining is a pain in the ass. You know, oh, sorry, the R's. No, that's thing. Anyway, night, y'all. We'll talk to you later. Thank you, Bob. And we... till next time, my friends. Bye.